Guys, young lineup here of Dasmariñas. Of course, making and doing the orchestration is Camila Lamina, Maaya, Mata, and Sug, Mar Salazar, and Shaira Hardio. This means so much interesting right now. So let's see who will come out victorious here in this match. Experience over agility. Let's see who will prevail as Camila Lamina will start things off here for Dasmariñas. Gail Valdez going against her former team NU and scoring big time right away. Camila Lamina targeting the former NU Lady Bulldog Gail Valdez.
And of course, we're seeing a different lineup para dito sa Pasay. You can see yung absence nito ni Puzon, replaced by Semana.
Camila Lamina once again. Pantino de Flem going against Antipuesto. Celine Marsh will give out a free ball. We're starting this match really hot on a running Yari Kimson.
Of course, what a way to show itong pagiging seasoned player ni Kimzon. She is now already
Yes.
contributing as a captain ball para dito sa Pasay.
And you know what, Loy? Yes, Dasmariñas is making wave after their, I must say, their victory in the UAAP in Season 84. But itong Pasay naman, powered by Air Force, they have the proven track record and I think that made all the excitement worth it here in this match.
Definitely agree to that. And again, sabi nga natin kanina, these are display of the reputable
Yes.
youngsters up against the veteran players. And now see if Pasay get back to the winning column or whether Dasmariñas Monarchs will still keep their winning streak.
Let's see. Well, you know, I'm actually expecting since Yurekes Lapor tend to be one of the leading scorers dito for Pasay that she'll start here for Pasay. Unfortunately, no. But this time, basic volleyball puntos here for Dasma.
Of course, Alinsug starting off strong.
Just like that, finding that donut hole here on the side of Pasay. Alinsug.
Alinsug very active at the start of the
Oo.
set sa 2 puntos, totaling of 3. Sa kanya yun lahat. And another point coming from the service line, UTC of Alinsug.
And you can expect that Dasmariñas will surely put some fire on their services. I mean, they are currently the number one Loy when it comes to services. Pero hindi naman nagkakalayo dito ang Pasay. They're currently ranked number 3 on services. So let's see, pagandahan na lang talaga ng aces dito. But meanwhile, puntos dito for Pasay.
Now we have Papa on the service line, one of the key players
Oo.
para dito sa Pasay. And just like that, as early as now, she already contributed on the service line with that service ace.
And Flores Papat is, I must say, the heart and soul here for Pasay right now. I mean, she didn't start much for Pasay during the early days of MPVA this season, but she earned the respect. She earned as a worthy player to kick off um, the the starting six. And right now, she is so worthy of that position, I must say.
And it was really evident from her previous performance that she's truly worthy to be in that position.
Mata right now, Deflem. They're targeting Deflem, but oh, how about that? Puntos dito coming from Yari.
And the rate of Kimzon right now, 100%.
Ganda
Lahat ng
nun.
binigay sa kanyang bola, napatay niya.
Oo. And there were several games na nawala dito si Yari Timson, and I think she's just returning on time. And just like that, Salazar on that emphatic cross-court kill. Puntos here for Dasma.
A very good angle from Salazar.
And kita mo, both teams talaga, they mean business right now, Loy. I mean, walang off-speed right now. And just like that, another ace here for Dasmariñas.
And para dito sa koponan Dasmariñas, almost currently lahat ng mga nag-service have already contributed service aces.
And talking about how emphatic itong mga services ng Dasma, out of the top 10 best servers we have right now, Loy, pito doon galing Dasmariñas. And how can you stop that? Well, this time, because of that error, Dasmariñas will lead us to our first technical timeout, 8-4.
Only projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Lady Voyagers. It's been a while since we last saw the Pasay Lady Voyagers in action, October 28 to be exact. During that game, Coach Ana Abanta decided to give her veteran players some well-deserved rest and let the younger ones take charge, all while gearing up for this big match against the Dasmariñas Monarchs. Fast forward to today, the Voyagers are finally complete. The girls got their much-needed recovery time back home during the holidays and even squeezed in a quick training session yesterday just to shake off the rust. And get this, even Coach Ana, who's technically on leave, is here and ready to lead. She says every game counts and she just couldn't sit this one out. Back to you, Jong and Lois.
Well, thank you for that. Queen, well, exactly, yes. The last time we saw Pasay, Loy, October 28. And before that win ng Pasay Lady Voyagers, Loy, they came from a 3 straight losses. That's how hard it was. And if you're Pasay, Loy, you don't want to be on that situation. So ilalaban at ilalaban mo to here contra Dasma.
Of course, for Dasmariñas, they wanted to maintain their winning streak and be on top. But for Pasay, they have different motivation, of course.
Yes.
As much as they can, they wanted to at least go over at makataas dito sa ating team standings.
Exactly. And ako, Loy, I will not be surprised right now with the extra passion and fire that we have for these two squads. I will not be surprised if we'll be going to witness long rallies, extended sets, and just like that, Maaya onboarded here for Dasma.
And I would say this attack sa Maaya, it's really a display of good connection that they have for years. Of course, starting off at the grassroots level and now playing for Dasmariñas.
Wendy and Simana is starting here for Pasay. Good recovery there. Come from Gil Valdez, Kimson, Celine Marsh. Maaya once again. Simana looking for her longtime friend, Pantino de Flem from the back dito sa Lazar. Gail Valdez sweeping that floor. This will be, Wendy and Simana on 1-2 play. Why not?
Of course, having Samana dito sa service front line rather. And look how observant she is. That she was able to find that spot. And almost 360 na yung adjustment na ikot na Samana from that last sequence.
Itong si Wendy Loy, tahimik lang yan, but at the back of her mind, she's really thinking of something to score a point for her squad. Meanwhile, Vanch Alinsog, that will be outside. And yes, Loy, right now we can see a lot of match-ups here for both squads. But you know what is the most interesting matchup we have is that both of the starting setter and the backup setter for both squads are in the top 10 on the setting. Lamina and Pono, and of course, Puzon and Sullivan. And I think that's one of the reasons why Alinsog was able to spike that ball so hard.
It's really a good connection
In connection,
of
exactly.
Lamina with her spikers.
Sabi ko nga, Loy, ito, you can challenge si Mana and Alinsog. Si Mana and Lamina. Even being blindfolded, they can set the ball properly to their wingers. And I think that's how deep the connections of these setters to her spikers. Meanwhile, ginawan dito ng paraan, Loy, but this time, Celine Mars from the pipe. Kimson, dig, antipuesto. This will be Alinsog. Kimson, Pantino de Flem.
Tina de Flem is targeting that spot. Coming from the pipe. It's really a good observation,
Yes.
decision. Coming from Tina de Flem.
May nag-error na ba sa kupunan natin? I'm not sure.
Para dito sa Pasay, I think we already have an error.
One, no? But
Na-
most of the scores, I think, wala. And I think that's how both squads mean business on each and every point. Meanwhile, Kimson, sayang yun.
And I think that's the second attack error from Kimzon. Out on the side of Dasmariñas, meron na silang service errors.
Si Kimson 3 beses humingi ng dispensa dito kay Coach Camila Banto. Sabi niya isa pa daw. Well, let's see. As Dasmariñas has an advantage here over Pasay because of their full rotation. 3 spikers here for Camila Lamina. Semana, pupunta ang Flores Papa!
A very explosive attack coming from Papa.
And of course, the youngest member of the squad here for Pasay, Flores Papa.
Just the right time to do that explosive attack. As long as she can, especially being up against by the number 1 team.
Exactly.
And Mata just found a hole dito sa kanilang kalaban.
Well, if,
She's taking advantage of dun sa mga regalo.
well, if there's one key advantage dito ng Pasay Loy kontra Dasma is that team standing mas lamang dito yung Pasay on blocking. They're currently the number 2 team sa block. So I think if there's one skill na pwede mag-take advantage dito yung Pasay and that is their blocking. But that will be hard, Loy, because ito, Van Chalinsug, we know how hard her services are. So they need to put a stop muna doon. Just like that. Lamina, Celine Mars!
And of course, it's not only Alinsug to watch out for, but also Pasay must be reminded that they still have Marsh.
Of course. And that was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now.
It's really fascinating kung gaano kabilis yung bola sa atake ni Marsh from that last sequence.
Yes. Van Chalinsug here right now, taking her time on the service deck. Masyadong mababa yung contact.
I would say may halong gigil or hindi niya na ayos masyado yung
Oo.
pagbato.
And ganun talaga minsan eh. I mean, high risk, high reward kind of serve. But nonetheless, here for Dasma, they're up by 5 here. As Doris and Papa serving here for Pasay. Lloyd, talking about Papa, I mean, she had some breakout games in the past. Well, let's see if we can see that same intensity here right now as that error will lead Dasmariñas to our second technical timeout.
Fans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
And of course, here on your screen right now, the very young Celine Marsh ending so far to be the number one best attacker here in this league with 64.29 success rate. And what made it so deadly, Loy, for Dasmariñas, yung pangalawa, yung top 2 natin from Dasmariñas, itong si Vanch Alinsug naman. So I think this duo is really, I mean, they're worth a million here for Dasmariñas. And also not only Celine Marsh and Alinsug being the top attackers so far, but two other Monarchs in the top 10. You have Faye Bombita and Myrtle Escanlar. So something that, Dasmariñas can bank on here in this match. But for Pasay, of course, sabi ko nga, their experience and winning games together. I think that is something that they could actually bank on as they face the undefeated Dasmariñas team. Celine Mars gagawa ng paraan dito. Wendy Ansimana Cabalsa, that will be outside.
I would just like to go back now because of the individual skills that this player has. Nagre-reflect yun on how they play as a
Yeah.
team.
Hey, tsagain lang natin. Ano eh, kanina dalawa lang yung lamang eh. Pinipigilan natin sarili natin na lumaban sa kanila eh.
There have been really a restriction on how they're performing up against Dasmariñas.
Yeah.
We just have to identify whether itong mga veterano ba ang nai-intimidate to the youngsters. To the
But Coach Camila Bantuloy is talking to these girls na parang they're trying to be very resistant. What did Coach Camila Banto trying to say that?
I think, of course, we have to understand that each of these players are seasoned, no? So, I think they're not yet showing yung full potential nila in
Oh,
this
yeah.
match. So, I think yun yung gustong makita nito ni Coach.
And you feel it eh. I mean, kanina nakipagsabayan itong Pasay, but I think during the midway of the set, you feel that they're moving so tight. You feel the pressure, right? You feel the pressure for Pasay eh. Eh, sabi mo nga, Loy, kanina, they need to shake off that pressure. Wow! Celine Marsh!
It's really a spectacular performance of Celine Marsh.
And that was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now.
And I really wonder how can you stop that ball?
Oo.
Sa sobrang bilis, I would say nahihirapan talaga yung mga blockers to even just deflect
Yes.
itong speed and power ng bola.
And yung trajectory, Loy, ng palo ni Celine Marsh, I mean, that is so sharp. How can you, I mean, if you're the defender here on the side of Pasay, how can you defend that?
Exactly, it's really on point.
And no wonder why she's currently the number one best attacker so far here for Mpva. Another point here for Celine.
And if I were Urdas, I would say mahihirapan ka talagang madepensan yung bola. Dapat established talaga.
Oh. And I mean, they need to be committed, extra committed dito sa blocking because yes, you may not be able to block them, but yung mga simple deflection just to slow down the ball would surely help a lot sa coverage ng team mo. Well, this time dito, pupuntahan, Flores Mpva sa likod. No touch, so puntos dito for Dasma.
And now I think the errors are piling up on the side of Pasay. And it's not only because of the service aces, pero ngayon present itong mga attack errors.
Oo. But Coach Camila Banto will try to call here for a timeout to settle things here for the Lady Voyagers. Let's listen in.
Hey, pasa lang tayo, pasa. Wala tayo sa ano. Nag-aantayan tayo eh.
From that last time out, sabi nga ni coach, nag-aantayan.
Mhm.
It's as if nagpapakiramdaman sila who's going to step up at kung sino yung susunod.
And I think there's a reason, Loy, kung bakit pinasok ito yung starters, kung bakit ito yung starters ni Coach Camila Banto. Because, we're expecting these veterans to handle the pressure, di ba, more than you insert yung mga players natin. I mean, the mental fortitude should be tough eh. Yun yung expectation ni Coach Camila Banto.
And of course, after all, they're human, so nakaka-feel talaga sila ng pressure, especially being up against the number 1 team. But of course, they have to be reminded that they are veterans,
Yes.
and skill-wise, it's all there.
And this is not the usual Pasay team that we know. So, I mean, for the past games that pinapatigil ako ni Celine Marsh. I'm actually about to say something, but I'm lost of words. Celine Marsh once again. Loy, it's so good. We have to say it twice.
Yung mga atake ni Marsh, it's really surprising. Nakaibabaw siya sa ball. It's really on point. Not only an attack, also, kailangan bantayan ito si Marsh.
Hindi na ako
With her
mapagsalita
service.
I mean, I'm actually thinking, Loy, of a good word to describe right now. But first set pa lang, Celine Marsh is living with no words right now. Such a joy to watch here, Celine Marsh. Papa, better reception dito. Pantino de Flem. Buhay pa rin ang bola sa Cantada. Of course, outside, puntos. Finally, a break here for Pasay.
And now it's time for Pasay to take advantage of that error. To at least shift the momentum back on their side. Still kudos para dito sa effort ni Hardio, the libero.
And I feel that this is such a full circle moment. There were times before na itong Air Force, they are in the peak of their career. They are the ones, the Dasmariñas Monarchs, they are ones the NU Lady Bulldogs. And right now, seeing the past and the present of the volleyball, such a full circle moment right now. But this time, isang puntos na lang yung kinakailangan dito ng Dasmariñas to snatch, to get rather, this first set kontra the Lady Voyagers. Kimson. Maaya. Oh, doing the setting to Cerneche. Semana to Papa. Maaya again to Cerneche. Cerneche on that drop. Courtesy of Maaya.
Of course, because of that decision from Cerneche, she was able to close the set.
Exactly. Kita mo dito, dalawang beses. Sinitan dito ni Chami Maaya, si Herlene Cerneche, and Dasmariñas Monarch winning this in 25-13.
Projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
comes Dasmariñas, of course, again, showing no mercy, showing so much dominance and mastery on their craft. And I think that's what I really like about these players is that they do not um, take their opponent for granted. They showed so much respect dito to the veterans that we have here for Pasay Lady Voyagers.
I would still like to reiterate that it's really the good connection that the Dasmariñas Monarchs has. Of course, again, being backed by the NU Lady Bulldogs, they're not even swayed, even being up against the seasoned players. And of course, still, yung impact nito ni Marsh in terms of her attacks being really on point really sets the mood para dito sa kanyang kupunan.
Exactly, and because of that, as we can see on the stats, Lois, it, it is all Dasmariñas.
And as you can see here, 25 to 13, you can see na kalahati lang yung na-perform ng Pasay with Dasmariñas 12 attacks. And dito parehas ng kupunan, walang block. So somehow, wala nakapag-deflect itong mga powerful attacks that both teams gave out. But in terms of aces, etong Dasmariñas, they really dominated this with controlled services and more minimal errors that gave out their win for this first set.
Exactly, and you know, we all Pasay after that first set only have 3 minutes to think on how they can fight to show fight here contra Dasmariñas, and let's see if that is enough time for them to show some upset here contra the undefeated Dasmariñas Lady Monarch. But right now, I must say everything seems so fine here for Dasmariñas, and Coach Camila Banto will stick to her veterans, except Lloyd that Eureka Eslapor is back here after that beach volleyball stint in Boracay. Let's see if that experience here on the sand, moving quickly here on the hard court, will help Pasay to get this set contra Dasma.
And we all know yung difference ng paglalaro sa buhangin. It's also an advantage, especially playing indoors. So you are more loaded, more skills, and yung agility nandun. So we'll see how that performance sa paglalaro sa buhangin, Islapor, will be showcased here in the volleyball indoor.
So let's see now. Oh! Just as quick as that, Salazar putting a statement here as we open the second set.
Now Salazar contributing 3 points para dito sa kanya kupunan. Now we have Lamina. Justin Salazar. And an attack for Eslapor. Yun nga, kakasabi lang
Oo.
natin, kakapasok niya lang, but with that good adjustment, think also because of the beach volleyball skills, nakatulong yan sa kanya for that lead.
And of course, definitely here is Lapor will surely not give up this game without giving Dasma a fight. Salazar! And you know what, Lloyd, yung si Salazar, I mean, there is really so much rare of a time that she started for Dasmariñas, but when she starts, it is, you know, a bazooka here for Salazar.
Now Salazar's being really active for this set. Now with 4 points.
And there is the if you're Dasma, this is your happy problem because everybody from the bench could actually start for your team. But meanwhile, dito, Yari Kimson, the veteran, scoring a point for Pasay.
I think that's one of the best attacks that I've seen so far in
Yeah.
this match para dito kay Kim Zon.
And I think also, Lloyd, that Kimson is the perfect player to deny, to block the outside hitters like Celine Marsh and Narinsog here for Dasmariñas. She is tall. She just need to time really well yung mga palo dito na Narinsog at saka ni Celine.
Exactly. From that last frame, a very successful quick attack from Mata.
You see that play, Loy? I mean, Hardio perfectly receiving that volleyball. Camila Lamina actually not moving from her position. That how so precise Hardio giving that ball to Lamina. And doon, halos pumalo na lang si Alexi Mata. That's how well coordinated and moving as if they are a well-oiled machine. Dasmariñas is.
I would definitely agree to that. Apparently, Patino de Flem found a way to get their momentum back on their side. Just the right way to bake off the blockers.
Alinsog here, Camila Lamina, Chami, Maaya. From setter to middle blocker, really quick.
Of course, another display of good connection para dito sa Dasmariñas Monarchs.
Sabi ko nga sa ilo, I mean, itong si Camila Lamina at si Hardio, halos hindi na gumagalaw sa posisyon nila. And that's how precise, the players on their possession is.
And of course, because of those good passes, nakakapag save up ng energy itong setter and as well as yung spikers because less movement, mas lalo sila nakapag-conserve
Oo.
ng energy.
And that's, of course, that's not how you want to respond here. After that, 3-point na binigyan ng Dasma. Ba't kabal sa kinakabahan lang yan? But for sure, babawi yan. She's currently the number 2 best blocker here in our league. So for sure, they'll take advantage of the skill na lamang dito ang Pasay, which is blocking.
And another point coming from Patina de Flem.
Grabe. Kanina, Loy, ako sobrang na-excite ako sa kupunan ng Pasay ng Dasma. Pero ngayon naiinis na ako. Kasi itong si Pantino, sila, si Mana, they making me feel so old. Hindi ko alam kung pinanganak na nito, but season 72, Wendy and Samana winning the MVP in the UAP. That's how old I am of a fan of volleyball. Air Force pa. Itong sila Pantino. I mean, sabi ko nga, it's such a full circle. The veterans going against this young squad of Dasma. It's like meeting the present and the past of volleyball.
But regardless of age, it's as if hindi sila tumanda. They're still performing well, especially playing for Pasay.
And a while ago on your screen are Cantada and Cerneche, fresh from Bahrain. Let's see what they can bring into the table here later.
Of course, these errors from Dasmariñas can really put Pasay at an advantage.
But right now here for Pasay, they are in a very favorable position. As full rotation tayo dito, 3 spikers in front, but Vanch Alinsog, good denial from Antipuesto. And Kimson, no touch from Salazar. And for the first time, Loy, lamang dito ang Pasay kontra Dasma.
And now, slowly, yung presence of mind ng Pasay in terms of net defense is already showcasing, especially from that performance of Kimzon.
Camila Lamina to Mata. Pupunta nito on a reverse set. Kimson, Antipuesto. This will be a free ball. So let's see what will be the play here for Camila Lamina. Tinignan dito Alexi Mata. What a coverage there coming from Pantino. Si Mana, babalikan dito from Pantino sa likod. Hardio. Coverage from the pipe. Salazar, gagawa ng paraan si Mana. Good coverage as Pantino will try again from the pipe. Lamina, Vanch Alinsog. What a coverage for both squads. Long rally here as Dasmariñas, Vanch Alinsog, Pantino is sweeping the floor here for Pasay.
And because of the very good blocking coming from Mata,
Napagod ako doon. Haban ng rally ng Pasay dyan ng Dasma.
so laban ng
Oo.
agility to. And itong mga rally dito napapakita of how both of these teams have prepared. And dito nagre-reflect
Yeah.
yung mga trainings and alertness.
Definitely. And for sure, Loy, I mean, both squads must have been really preparing coming in this match.
But of course, Alinsug found a way to respond dun sa block ni Kim Zon sa kanya kanina.
And Vanch Alinsog, despite being the smaller blocker there, denying Yari Kimson, leading and sending Dasmariñas to our first technical timeout.
Next, plans, play, games! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy! Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
If you're going to do something, do it well. That's the mantra of Coach Regine Diego leading the still undefeated Dasmariñas Monarchs, a team that consistently holds the top spot. But beyond volleyball, Coach Regine wears many hats. Alam nyo ba na she's also a free diving coach, a plantita, and a traveler at heart? What began as a hobby during the pandemic almost turned competitive, if not for a volleyball injury. Now fully focused on coaching, she carries the same mindset, doing things with passion and excellence. That's Coach Regine Diego, someone who does everything for fun, but always does it well. Back to you, Jong and Lois.
Definitely. Thank you for that, Queen. Of course, as a coach, I think for this young squad, you're not actually just teaching these girls, those technicalities of volleyball, but you have to teach them on how to be strong mentally more than physically inside the court. Oh,
Very unusual. Normal error coming from Semana. And siguro dala na rin yun ng pawis because of how intense this match is.
yeah. Evangeline with 6 points. Again on that familiar jump serve. Eureka is Lapore. That will be outside. This is exact moment, Loy. Kung saan umarangkada yung Dasmariñas ng first set.
Well, for this, I think now Dasmariñas is already dictating the tone for this match. And it's just about for Pasay to minimize their errors.
I mean, itong Pasay, Loy, I mean, they can cover. They can defend. I mean, they putting a good reception dito. Just like that, Gail Valdez is on point. They just need to convert. Then let's see if they can. As Lamina will try to go to Celine Marsh.
Just like that, all know how powerful the attacks of Celine Marsh is.
And Loy, bakit nag-outside? I mean, I'm not a middle blocker, pero na-block naman doon ni Yari Kimson. But why it went outside?
Well, it can be two things. One of the reason is yung positioning ng kamay. So we
Oh.
have to make sure na yung palms should be covered in the shape of the ball. And of course, countering depending on the angles. If we're trying to block the opener, the position of the hands should be different.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I think a lot of assignments here for Pasay as they will be calling for a timeout here. Let's listen in.
We just hope that that timeout can really translate, especially dito sa lead na meron ng
Yeah.
Dasmariñas. But of course, that timeout can also help the players to at least catch their breaths
Oh, yeah.
of how intense this game is.
And imagine, Lloyd, I mean, if I were to become one of Pasay's player, it's so hard. I mean, yung October 28, that is their first game. Nananalo sila after 3 consecutive losses. And right now, they are at a very expensive hands of Dasmariñas to experience defeat again. And of course, you don't want that to happen. So they need to really, non-negotiable for Pasay, they need to work extra mile if they want to win this match against Dasma.
Exactly. Right now, it seems like Cabalsa just needed that valuable IQ and power tip to get the momentum back on
Yeah.
their side.
I like it, Loy. I mean, you talk about bringing back the momentum, and if there is one player for Pasay who can bring back that firepower, I think that is Josa Cabalsa. I mean, just really very vocal. Ayun, actually, hinihintay ko nga dito, the usual suwag, the very vocal Josa Cabalsa that we know.
And upon observing, she's really fierce, but still, good effort there.
Yeah. Well, apparently here right now, in all skills, right now here for Dasma, they're doing it with so much excellence. Ang ganda ng reception ng mga players natin at the back. Yung setting nila Mina kanina
Mhm.
pa, it's so much precision. Even yung digging and the attacks of course, you cannot deny. There is so much clarity every time that these players are approaching for a score. So Pasay, they need to think of something to stop that.
Exactly. I think one way in order for Pasay to counter itong powerful attacks is of course to work on their blockings and as well as coverage.
And I think this is the best time for Pasay to do that. I mean, while yung lamang is di pa ganun kalaki and while we're still here at the midway of this tournament, but that error will not surely a help here for Pasay.
And the difference for both of these teams, especially for this set, Dasmariñas has minimal errors.
Yeah.
At para naman dito sa Pasay, they keep on giving 3 points para sa kanilang kalaban. And we don't want that, especially na sila yung naghahabol dito sa Dasmariñas.
Exactly. Nako, buti na lang pumunto si Pantino doon, Loy, because I think Coach Camille Labante is trying to protest yung double contact violation dito ni Chami Maaya, but no call from our first referee.
And of course, because of that attack, somehow we hope it would boost the morale of their team.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ikaw na munang bahala kay Celine Loy, na pagod na ako kay Celine. No, no kidding, but how can you explain that firepower coming from Celine Marsh?
It's like a blink of an eye. Napatay niya agad yung bola. Ganun kabilis. Even
Wow.
that sound is really explosive.
And Celine Marsh, isa rin to sa mga players who making me feel so old. I mean, I was just covering her high school volleyball and right now playing here in collegiate and right in MPVA. So much growth really here for Celine Marsh.
And it's really amazing how we're given the opportunity to witness this type of performance from reputable players.
Ganda ng bato dito ni Celine. Masyadong malapit lang. So this will be a point here for Pasay.
Of course, presence of mind from Antipuesto really put Pasay at an advantage. Now they only need 2 points to be at par with Dasmariñas at 15 points.
Hardio on that excellent reception. Converting to an excellent attack there coming from Chami Maaya. And right now here, Dasmariñas working as if they are a well-oiled machine. Let's take a look one more time. That connection pays everything here for Dasma. 16-13. Second technical timeout in favor of Dasmariñas.
Projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Catch all the games live and free exclusively on pusup.com. Your game, your community. Join now, powered by Smart, the official telco partner of the MPVA. Special thanks to our media partners, Smart Sports and Puso Pilipinas. Talking about perfection, Loy, I think on every skill that Dasmariñas is present, I think they are showing it with so much mastery. But they're really very good in all those basics of volleyball, and I think that is why they are undefeated right now as Chami Maaya scoring an ace here for Dasma.
And of course, because of what you said, it really all boils down to basics kasi it is the foundation of how they will be able to perform and execute good plays.
Exactly. And everybody here inside the court for Dasma is playing so well. I mean, with Celine Marsh, explosion, her attacks, and of course the precision on Camila Lamina set and the coverage of Hardio. Everything seems work
Mhm.
well here for Dasma. And that's what we also know about Pasay. And that is something what we're looking for with Pasay ngayon, Loy.
Need a more established system
Oh,
para dito sa Pasay. Of course, we cannot really deny that they're struggling because of the performance that Dasmariñas is showing right now. But then again, Pantino de Flem found a way to at least break off
yeah.
itong pinapakita ng Dasmariñas.
And I like what I see because Pantino is still smiling. So that means they feel that they're still in control. But here comes Alexi Mata controlling the middle here for Dasma.
Dasmariñas is really displaying how dominating they can be, even being up against the veteran players.
This is way much closer. This set is way much closer compared to the first set. Camila Lamina, Wendy and Simana. That is that is a good hit. Good hit there coming from Antipuesto.
And it's really a good target there. She really saw an opening.
But of course, Antipuesto. I mean, she can play big time, Loy.
Mhm.
She's the currently number 5 when it comes to blocking, alongside with Cabalsa at number 2. I mean, they can make a difference.
And an easy ball coming from Mata. From that last frame, wala nang masyadong power, but still managed to gain a point just because of a donut hole on the side of Pasay. Now we can see Cantada back on the court on the front line.
Yeah. And Celine Mars here on the bench, receiving a lot of high fives coming from her teammates and from the coaches.
And we can really see the frustration
Oh,
para dito kay Quinzon because could have been a point
yeah.
dahil walang masyadong blockers. Taller blockers, especially you have Cantada.
At yung
That
mga,
running attack.
at yung running attacks doon ni Yari Kimson, that is her specialty eh.
Yes.
'Di ba how frustrating it is na parang yung specialty mo will not work for you.
Mhm. And for Dasmariñas, hindi ka pwedeng magbigay lang ng regalo.
Yes. And here comes Pasay trying to cool down everything. Timeout ngayon dito. Let's listen in. You know, I think this is the perfect time here for Coach Camila Bantuloy to call for a timeout. I mean, more than they can talk, but I think that could freeze the momentum dito ng Dasma.
And it's time na makarinig naman sila
Oo.
something words from their coaches. To at least identify because when you're inside the court, your only focus is the present. But of course, if you have your coaches, you would be able to identify what happened previously and the reason as to why those actions resulted dun sa ganong performance. Now we have Alinsog on the service line, known as one of the servers with good service.
Well, let's see how Pasay will respond after the timeout. Error dito from Samantha Cantada.
And medyo early wrist action there from Cantada.
Well, let's see now. Well, for sure, for those watching here right now, they are waiting for Samantha Cantadas to hit that volleyball so hard. Especially after that fourth place finish ng Alas Pilipinas under 19 category. And Jenlyn Jacob. I mean, Jenlyn Jacob is not the tallest of a middle blocker. Even during her high school days. But yung timing ni Jenlyn
Exactly.
is really very good, no? As a middle. Lamina now, Samantha Cantada adjusting.
Santada was able to redeem herself
Yes.
from that previous error.
From Bahrain with love on that Sam Cantada's down the line kill. Jeneline Jacob still serving here for Dasmariñas. That will be outside. Too strong there coming from Jeneline.
And it's a point for Pasay.
And we have here Aiko Ordas. And you know, I think if I were Aiko Ordas in Gail Valdez, well, I think I'll going to feel some bittersweet. Yes, I mean, lamang dito in Dasmariñas, your opponent. But at the same time, I think Gail Valdez and Aiko Ordas feel some sense of pride. I mean, they're both from NU as well. And seeing the progress of their volleyball, I think it means so much joy for them to see this young squad improvement, especially their school on volleyball.
Also playing with the familiar culture.
Yeah. Salazar now. Valdez, ganda ng pasa dito ni Valdez kay Soliven. Also Soliven from NU. This time, Salazar putting an exclamation point and an end on that broken play. Now, NU, lamang na ng dalawang set dito kontra Pasay. With that, let's see now, 25-17 in favor of Dasmariñas, 2 sets to none.
Projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
And of course, here for Dasmariñas, this is actually where hype meets expectation. Dasmariñas Monarch is meeting with the expectation that the valuable fans, that their valuable community has for them. And right now, dito nga, we see display of such great action, especially with Celine Marsh and Alexei Mata doing so much damage during the second set.
Of course, we also have to give credit to Lamina for good decision playmaking. And it's already as if etong Dasmariñas have already perfected their roles. Precise is really the word na pinapakita
Oo.
nitong Dasmariñas Monarchs.
And right now here, this is not the way that we know Pasay play. So let's expect if they can improve that here in the third set.
Yes, you can see here, from the previous set, Pasay has a more improved in terms of attacks. However, Dasmariñas is still dominating with 15 attacks, 1 block, and of course, minimal errors as compared to Pasay Lady Voyagers with 9 errors in this match.
Exactly. Well, the numbers do not lie. So let's see if Pasay can still make up with these numbers. We'll know that they can. We know how Pasay played in the previous matches. They may have some shortcomings in some of the games in first round, but we know how they can bounce back. And right now, still, Coach Camila Banto dito, Loy, will still bank on her veterans. Still, Eureka Slapor substituting Florence and Papa, but here for Dasmariñas, usual suspect familiar faces here, except here for Salazar starting off here for the first time, I must say, for Coach Reg San Diego.
Dasmariñas starting off with an error. Apparently, itong si Yurika Eslapor has been really silent lately. And if you can recall yung last performance niya up against Dasmariñas, even with that 3 sets, she was able to contribute 14 points.
Yeah.
But still, I think we wanted to feel more of her presence right now. And she's someone that Pasay really needs as well.
And dito, pumasok na rin dito sa Pasay si Astilla. Lahat ng best blockers that Pasay has, actually pumasok na. Antepuesto, Cabalsa ngayon, Astilla. Looking for that perfect combo and ingredient to stop these strong attackers and Dasma. Let's see if they can.
And of course, it's a good strategy to put in good blockers, especially you have good attackers coming from Dasmariñas. So
But, yeah.
in order to counter itong mga performance ng Dasmariñas, one of the things that they needed right now are good blockers and as well as good defense.
Well, I couldn't agree more. Harjo. Oh! Oh! No. Oh, well, we do hope that Celine Marsh is okay. Well, after all, it is our players' safety and welfare that we are, but no, diba? Konting pagpag lang ni Celine yan.
And we hope it's nothing serious.
Of
Especially
course.
sa ulo.
And Celine, kung pwede ko lang sabihin sa batang tong ikalma mo, diba? You have proven so much here in the MPBA and you don't have to risk your life with that. But yeah, of course, kudos on that great defense coming from Celine. Ganda din ang first ball ni Celine, eh, no?
Parang hindi siya nasaktan.
Wendy and Simana to Aiko Ordas.
Showing that she used to have the same culture.
Yeah.
And a good attempt there, and a good angle. At least break through the blocker's hands.
Well, this is a good start here for Pasay. I think this is the first time. The biggest lead that Pasay actually had kontra Dasma with 3. Pantino gagawa ng paraan. Dito Lamina. Celine Marsh adjusting. Wow, no problem with Celine Marsh.
Of course, Marsh, we all know how accurate her attacks can be, her efficiency. We're all lost for words because of how well Celine Marsh is performing right now.
Exactly. Tsaka ang gusto ko pa rito kay Celine Loy, hindi namin mili ng sets. Whether it is a broken play or sets coming from behind, talagang you can expect that Celine Marsh will going to hit that volleyball.
And I would say that's an ideal attacker kasi when I'm still playing, you're always reminded na dapat yung mga attackers yung nag-adjust. Then again, a good adjustment there by Urdas.
And of course, that was this game's community cam powered by pusupi.com. Your game, your community, join now. And Loy, I believe you know, these fans watching. Celine Marsh, deflected. This time Salazar. Pupuntahan dito. Masyadong malapit. Patpantino, ginawa ng paraan. Vanja Alinsug on the coverage. Celine Marsh one more time. Oh. Sayang yun, Loy. Ganda ng dig ni Isla Portana doon.
Exactly. And I've been mentioning kanina na medyo silent itong si Eslapor in terms of attacks and offenses. However, we have to be reminded na coming from beach volleyball, maganda din yung contribution sa Eslapor in terms of floor defense.
Exactly. Well, this time, Camila Lamina will be substituted by Abigail Pono, but no problem. Ikaw ba naman, the number 1 setter, you will be substituted by the number 2 setter so far in this league, Abigail Pono.
ganito kalalim and ka-reliable yung pool na meron itong Dasmariñas Monarchs.
And how about Salazar today? Loy, starting here for Dasmariñas now with 7 points. It's just letting your coaches know now that I'm worthy of that starting lineup.
And itong pinapakita ni Salazar is a display of progress.
Yes.
Slowly, she's been making
Oh!
name.
Nako, kung nabalik sana ni Evangeline Sog yun, I'll gonna credit that point to Shai Hardio. What an effort there coming from Shai.
And still, if we can see from that last frame, nakaabang na siya doon. However, nasungkit lang. But still made an effort.
And you see how these players are treating each and every game, really very serious. Here for Dasma, they know na lalaban at lalaban itong Pasay. And that's why they're putting so much effort, especially on their coverage.
Of course, in the game of volleyball, every point matters.
Oh!
Because isa-isa lang. Then again, another performance from Marsh.
And what I dig from Eureka Eslapor. That is outside. Loy, I like how Dasma is putting emphasis on their coverage, on their digging. Currently, that is their lowest scale. They are actually at number 5 right now when it comes to digging. And I like how are they trying to improve on that specific skill. And also, yung digging din dito ng Pasay, grabe kanina pa yung mga strong hits si Celine Marsh.
And it's as if itong Pasay nakapag-adjust na sa mga palo ni Marsh.
This time, Evangeline Sog on that baby spike. No, that is not good. Pantino Deflem. And how about this Loy? For the first time here in this game, Pasay will lead us to our first technical timeout. Lamang dito ang Lady Voyagers 8-4. Dasmariñas down by 4. Let's see when we come back.
Fans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy! Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now!
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Mamaya, after this game, let's all sing a happy birthday. Yesterday was all about birthday cheers for Chai Papa, who just turned 23. But instead of a grand celebration, she chose to spend her day in training with Team Pasay Lady Voyagers. But sadly, she got a gift no one would ever want. She says, pumitik daw yung tuhod niya while going for a block during practice na hanggang ngayon ay iniinda niya. Even so, she's back on the court today, proving that dedication never takes a day off. Back to you, Jong and Lois.
Thank you for that, Quinn. If there's one thing that I can guarantee here to Floris and Papalo is that all the efforts that she did, it will pay off someday. Despite, instead of having your day celebrating with your family and friends, imagine spending this in training. And you see the dedication of that athlete. And I think that what separates a good athlete from not. It's a matter of what and who you will prioritize. But meanwhile dito, this is a different set here for Pasay as Pantini Deflem continues to do damage here for Pasay.
One of the consistent players and attackers that I can see right now on the side of Pasay is Patina Deflem.
Yeah.
Always making sure she's always present when they're attempting to get the momentum back. Fortunately, itong service natamaan lang itong si Ate Puesto.
And Pantino Deflem, I'm not sure, but I think she is the leading scorer dito yata for Pasay with 9 points already. And this is how Pantino Deflem been playing. Hindi pa siya Deflem nun. Pantino pa lang siya, but she's playing like the dark horse of the squad. Really giving so much quality minutes whenever she's inside the court. At ganda din ang position niya doon sa reception. Sa service si Chami. Vange Alinsog with a capital A, scoring one more time here for Dasma.
course, reminding their opponents that it's not only Marsh to look out for. Also, we have Alinsug, one of the key players that have been performing well for Dasmariñas.
And of course, Chami Maaya with 4 very important points already here for Dasmariñas. Good serve. Gail Valdez. Oh! Wow! How about that, Loy? Only a veteran can do that. What a deception. Coming from Wendy and Semana.
And yung mga ganong type of attack is something that you do when least expected. Unfortunately, was countered by another error.
Sayang yun. Well, so far, I think that is one of my favorite plays here in this match. And that one to play no look very deceptive play coming from the Wendy and Semana.
And kanina niya pa nagagawa yun.
Eureka Slapor!
Of course, if you have a Mata, blocking you, hindi pwedeng easy ball lang yung ibibigay mo. Has the height and
Yeah.
a good read.
Nagulat na lang ako dun, Loy. I mean, bigla na lang sumulpot dun si Alexi Mata. Well, I thought it will be just a simple turnover dito coming from Eureka. But all of a sudden, Mata. Abigail Pono na. Antipwesto na pwestuhan ng maayos on that quick attack.
Now we're hearing more again from Antipuesto. Still kudos sa magandang backset dito ni Semana.
And you know, I like how you credit Wendy and Semana, Loy. Kasi parang every time that a point is being tallied, we are giving so much hype to the spikers, forgetting na it will not be possible without a very good set na binigay natin mga setters.
Exactly. And for some na hindi pa ganun familiar with the play of volleyball, it's really the setters who are the playmakers.
Yes.
They are the decision and sila yung utak itong laro para sa kanilang koponan. But then the presence of mind of Salazar, especially, ano yung sinasabi natin kanina, minimal errors from Pasay.
Oo.
Because Dasmariñas really knows how to take advantage of those. And itong mga regalo.
And you would not expect here, of course, sabi ko nga, I mean, this will be a different story siguro if Pasay, say for instance, was able to minimize their errors eh. I mean, they're already having their momentum early on. And I'm hoping, Loy, na the reception of Pasay is more solid. They're still the number 2 when it comes to reception, but apparently hindi lumalabas here at the part of the game.
And if you have a server like Alinsug, oh no, it's really hard na madepensahan.
And I just want to put emphasis, Loy, on how good the Dasmariñas sa services. I mean, 7 out of the top 10 in the services are from Dasmariñas. So, I mean, if you're Pasay, you really need to work out your service receive.
Because of that error, we're tied again at 12.
Eureka Silapor dito sa likod. Oh! Good read. Wow! Coming from Sam.
Now, these are exchanges of errors for both teams. And now we have Eslapor back on the floor defense.
Alexa Mata now. Serving here for Dasmariñas. Eureka. Good first ball. Ganda ng na-receive doon ni Eureka. Some Cantada. Cantada denied. Good point. There is a good point dito for Pasay.
I would say a lucky point for Pasay. And going back, I think, 2 One of the reason kung bakit ganyan kaganda yung depensa ni Eslapor is because of how she was able to retain itong mga skills na nakuha niya as a former Lady Maroon.
Yeah. At kita mo talagang how good a beach volleyball player Eureka is. Ganda ng mga pasa niya dito kay Wendy and Samana. Siguro I wish that Pasay could convert those good pass na binibigay dito ni Eureka.
And like I mentioned, how she was silent in terms of attacks, she makes it up for the defense. And another point coming from Cantina de Flem.
And right now, Loy, I think what made the difference talaga dito sa Pasay, let's forget the technicalities Let's forget about the skills because meron na sila niyan. I think it is when Pasay is having a good time. It is when Pasay is enjoying. I mean, dun lumalabas yung laro nila. So I think they need really to continue. But wow, that cut shot from Salazar leaves me speechless. And that was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 9-9 load now.
It's a very good angle coming from Salazar.
And yes, it left me with no words. Nagulat na lang ako where did that spike came from Pantino. Alinsug from the pipe. And again, for the second time, here in this set, Pasay Lady Voyagers will lead us to our second technical timeout, 16-14.
Plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now!
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
And of course, here right now, mind you, Loy, that Dasmariñas is very deadly on the services. Samantha Cantada, despite her absence, still the top server of the league, followed by Camila Lamina at number 2. And top 3, Dasmariñas pa din with Mertel Escanlar. So, I mean, that services is Dasmariñas' first line of offense. And that's how deadly Dasmariñas Monarch is. But if there is something that Pasay could counterfeit with this skill, Lo, is that Pasay is the number 2 in reception. They could actually compensate those strong services dito ng Dasma by being solid on their reception. Let's see if they can. As the number 1 server of the league, serving here. Yun nga, na-jinx lang natin. Last na yun.
Sorry po.
Sorry naman. But well, seriously, Loy, of course, yes, Dasmariñas is number 1 in services and reception. But if you're a Pasay, you're number 2. Which means you can compensate yung mga strong services dito na pinapakita ng Dasma.
Definitely agree to that. But from that last frame was the attack of Alinsug. That's putting Pasay at disadvantage. And right now, as mentioned nga kanina, it's as if lahat ng players ng Dasmariñas included dun sa mga categories
Oo.
that have been performing well.
Ganda talaga ng pasa dito. Ni Eureka Eslapor.
And of course, Semana doing wonders again with that 1-2 play. Really a display of how veteran she is.
At syempre, nakakapanghinayang naman, Loy, na hindi mo ma-convert into a point yung ganda ng pasa na binigay ni Eureka Eslapor. Di ba? Well, meanwhile dito, responding immediately here for Dasmariñas is Alex Mata. Abigail Pono. Semana. Eureka! Breaking down that wall.
And now something that we've been waiting for Eslapor. As you can see, siya na yung pumick up, siya pa yung pumalo. And successfully was able to get it through the blocker's hands. And gain a point for her squad.
When Loy, I could have imagined, say that Papa is on a better health right now. Is Lapor is back. I mean, this could have been, who knows? I mean, Pasay could have actually just steal the first and the second set. But of course, that should not be an excuse if you're Pasay. Meanwhile, Alinsok, puntos dito again here for Dasmariñas.
And from the previous report, sinabi nga na merong iniinda ding injury itong si Papa. However, dahil sa lalim ng pool nila, someone can feel that spot.
Oh!
Because of Eslapor again and again. Now present dito sa offense.
And that was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now. And I love the energy now. I mean, the Pasay Lady Voyagers, these players starting to be very vocal. And I think, nakakatulong talaga that you're celebrating the point. And I think here for Pasay, regardless if it is just, a soft point or a drop, it's very important that they celebrate. I mean, it bring back the energy, the enthusiasm on playing the game. Eureka is Lapor digging, receiving. Unfortunately, hindi pa nakarecover dun after that dig.
But surprisingly, ang ganda pa rin nung depensa nito ni Eslapor. But of course, we have Mata on the front line. And she knows how to take advantage of those over-received, over-passes.
Alexa Mata here right now. Just a point away for a double-digit performance. This will go!
There has been some confusion sa roles kung sino ba kukuha ng bola.
Oo. Sayang yung habol ni Aiko doon. Nagkatinginan dito si Gail at si Eureka.
And this shows kung gaano ka-importante yung communication dito sa mga players.
I couldn't agree more. Alexa Mata here. Double-digit performance here for Alexa Mata today. Eureka. Pantino de Flem above the hands of the blockers. Samkantada. But Eureka is Lapor digging it with... Oh!
I would say it's a fulfilling block by Maaya, especially blocking yung senior na.
But this time, Lady Voyagers will call for a timeout. Let's listen in. And, I mean, if you're Pasay, you want to continue the performance. I mean, compared to the first set and second set, this is a much closer set, which means they have an opportunity to steal and get the set contra Dasmariñas.
Of course, this timeout can be a strategy to break off the momentum na meron itong Dasmariñas ngayon. Kasi prior to this timeout, there have been a shift in atmosphere para dito sa Pasay. However, itong Dasmariñas, marunong lang talaga humabol. Always find a way kung paano makarecover.
Yeah.
Especially kanina. Ang laki na ng lamang ng Pasay.
Kaya nga eh. I mean, if you're Pasay, you could have actually just maintained and take care of your lead. But apparently, yun nga. I mean, humabol itong Dasmariñas. As meanwhile here, Abigail Pono, hinanap. Samkantada! Wow! With Bahrain and so much power on that down-the-line kill. And that was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now.
And it was truly worthy of the power spike title.
Yes.
Left me speechless. I think that's one of the best plays na merong pinakita nito ni Cantada so far.
I couldn't agree more, Loy. The power and the sharp ng palo ni Sam doon. Well, this time, this will be, a joust. Pono, hinahanap si Maaya. Wendy and Simana on the coverage. Pantino de Flem. Deflected by Maaya. Pantino de Flem one more time. Vance Alinsog. Some cantada one more time. That will not be over.
And yung mga ganong type of sets coming from the break ball are one of the things na mahirap adjustan as an attacker.
But of course, here the veterans will never say it's over until it is over. Isa lang yung lamang dito ng Dasmariñas. Sullivan, of course, here serving for Pasay, another veteran. For the Lady Maaya, Sullivan, digging that one, Pantino de Flem, Hardio, Abigail Pono, Maaya.
Of course, Maaya. Then again, present para dito sa net defense. As well as itong kanyang opensa, which is dropping the ball, keeping the ball over.
Of course. Well, this could still be anybody's game actually. Sullivan setting this one, reverse it! Maaya denying Yuri Kimson. And Maaya right now here. Salazar will serve this for Dasma. Sullivan to Yari Kimson. Dasmariñas is on set point. Not yet, said Pasay. Maaya one more time. Sending that baby home. And Dasmariñas still undefeated, especially with the return of Cantada Cerneche. They are now immaculate, still immaculate here.
You can see here the performance of Dasmariñas is really spectacular. It was really perfect. Everything was so precise, from passes to setting as well as from attacking. All is there for Dasmariñas Monarchs.
And Dasmariñas, yellow is the color of celebration, and I think they are so worthy of wearing that color right now. It is so much of a celebration here for Dasmariñas. Still undefeated here in this match, here in this tournament rather. But of course here for Pasay, yes, they may be out of the 3-game losing streak. But right now, I mean, this loss means learning. This loss means that there is something that they also need to work out, and it is up to them to find out what is something that they need to work out, especially. But of course, good news for Pasay Loy. Still, they're in the top 4 in our standing. But for Dasmariñas, I'm running out of good words. But again, Dasmariñas winning it on 3, 25-21.
Projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, Activate the eSIM and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app. Choose your number. Activate the eSIM and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Loy, how can you spell immaculate and flawless? You spell it with a capital D, ending with an S. Dasmariñas Monarchs still flawless and immaculate here in this match. You know, a lot of players stood up here in this match contra Pasay. But if there is one player, Loy, that you feel deserves the title of Queen of the Court right now, who she is?
It's none other than Maya. Well, there are a lot of players that stood out. You have the likes of Marsh and we have the likes of Alinsog. But however, it was the consistency, even finishing the match with that attack. And it's because of Maaya's presence on the net that also paid way to give them another win and maintain their winning streak.
Exactly, and of course, our Queen of the Court right now is with our courtside reporter, Queen Barcarse. Queen, take it away.
Yes, hindi pa siya naglalaro. Champion na talaga siya. I'm with Champ Maaya, Queen of the Court champ. Grabe, 10th straight win para sa Dasmariñas Monarchs. Still undefeated. Special pa ba itong panalo na to para sa'yo?
Every game po para sa amin is special po kasi every game po nag-challenge din po namin sarili namin, mga connection po namin as a rebuilding team.
Alam namin malakas na team ang Dasmariñas Monarchs, pero ikaw ang Queen of the Court sa team mo. Ano yung pinakamagandang ginawa mo ngayong araw na to?
Siguro po kasi yung mga pag-establish po namin sa block, yung challenges po namin na kung paano yung mga variation namin as a middle, gano'n.
And Champ, kung may gusto kang pasalamatan, batiin, tayo mo na to.
Alright, okay. Salamat po sa mama at papa ko, mga tita ko po. Sana nanonood pa kayo. Maaya family, the Rosario family. Hello po, thank you sa lahat. May game 1 pa po kami. Sana po may manood pa po kayo. Supportahan niyo po kami, please.
Alright, thanks for that, Champ. Our Queen of the Court turning you over to Dong and Lois.
And of course, Chami, I guarantee you, manunood ako. Hindi kayo mag-asawa on whatever league that is. I will wish all the best. But Chami, of course, since her rookie year, she took the volleyball, the middle position on fire. And that was our Queen of the Court, Chami Maaya. And right now, Loy, here are your Smarts powered up plays brought to you by Smarts Only 5G. Only 85 pesos for 3 days. Download the Smart app and load now. There is so much to anticipate here, Loy. But before that, let's have a quick recap on what happened in the match between Dasmariñas and Pasay.
Well, for our first set, it was really a close fight. I would say, well, everybody's still adjusting. But somehow, itong Dasmariñas, it's still a display of their dominance. And of course, yung good connection that they've had for years, again, being backed by any Lady Bulldogs. And they're not sweet, even being up against the veteran players.
But when I think, of course, I know that both squads really prepared. They're coming in with so much preparation here in this match. But here comes Dasmariñas. They're just simply excellent. I mean, they are redefining volleyball, the Philippine volleyball right now, I must say, especially here in the MPVA. They're really so good in mastering their position and their specific position in volleyball, and it complemented well along with the other teammates. They are moving as if they are a well-oiled machine, and Dasmariñas still again flawless and immaculate here in this tournament.
Comes set 3, you have seen improved plays for both teams. You have Pasay with their improved attacks and as well as defense. However, it was truly the preciseness and good connection of Dasmariñas Monarchs that gave them this win for the set 3.
Exactly. The good thing about here for Dasma is that everybody could actually score. Everybody, Lloyd, could become the Queen of the Court. But of course, for Pasay, there's nothing to be ashamed of. you've
Exactly.
actually just faced against the number one team. So this loss, it doesn't mean that you are out of contention, but this loss is just a reroute on learning the things that you have to improve as you continue your journey here in the MPBA. Ang dami pang pwede mangyari here in the round 2. And that is a clear advantage here for Pasay na they can still work out on the things that they need to improve as a team and as an individual. And for our statistics, Loy,
And numbers truly speaks for themselves. As you can see here, Dasmariñas with a total points of 75 over Pasay 61. They then again dominated in terms of attacks with 38 to 26, so 4 to 3 blocks and 5 aces, of course, courtesy of the best servers that we have for the Dasmariñas Monarchs. In terms even, they also have minimized their errors with 20 over Pasay's 28.
definitely here, of course, Dasmariñas still on a roll, still looking for the team who can put a stop dito nga sa merciless run ng Dasmariñas. But hindi pa tayo tapos, Loy. We still have our final game here in the Marikina Sports Complex. Of course, none other than the home court advantage playing here kontra San Juan Lady Knights. Again, Marikina Lady Shoemaster going San Juan Lady Knights when we come back here for our Tuesday triple header.